Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Live on ServiceNow What's New for AI Control Tower. Thanks so much for joining and being here. We know that this is an exciting topic. We're glad to be with you all today to discuss more and to share with you all the latest and greatest. We'll go ahead and jump into everything today. As a quick safe harbor notice, we plan to keep everything relevant to just what is already generally available to what's already come out. But if we happen to mention futures, we've got it covered from a safe harbor standpoint. A couple of notes for housekeeping before we get into today's content. I do want to make sure that we are fielding your questions in the right channel, so please make sure to use the Q&A. I know we've all had this happen before, that you're in the chat or you're making some comments. Maybe you're telling us where you're from, which go ahead, feel free to do that. Let us know where you're dialing in from, where we're hearing from you today. But when it comes time to ask a question, if you have questions for us, please go ahead and switch over to the Q&A button. And the reason for that is that we collect all of your questions and we make sure that we've either answered them or we'll call them out at the very end and go through any that we've missed, or we'll be able to follow up afterward. But it really does require us to capture all of those questions in the Q&A and not in the chat, in the Q&A, in order to field those correctly. So please make sure you're using the Q&A for all of your questions. We will also be sharing this recording after the event as well. And we'll have a slide at the end is where you can see all of the prior recordings of all of our prior sessions. So you'll be able to see this after the fact as well. And then please make sure, if you do have a moment after the event, to fill out a quick survey. It'll pop up on your screen. It just lets us know how we're doing if you found this kind of event helpful. And with that, we'll move right into things. I do want to highlight for you that this is just one of many, many, many events that we have here at ServiceNow for you to learn more about our products, to interact with the experts, to hear from the product team, to get the latest and greatest. We are going to share this link in the chat as well, but if you want to go ahead and scan this QR code, you can see the schedule to know when all of your favorite events are going to be coming up next, how to join, how to sign up. So feel free to scan the QR code or leverage the link that we will put in the chat in order to stay connected with us. I will mention that as far as this series goes, in terms of what's new for the risk products, we've got a whole series for each and every product within the ServiceNow risk portfolio. You can see where we're at today in terms of what's new in the AI Control Tower. This is being broadcast both October 9th as well as October 28th at different times of the day to accommodate different time zones. So if you're watching one of those replays or you're watching after the fact, hello, welcome, thanks for joining the replay. And if you want to go ahead and sign up for any further events, just like you did for this one, you can also see what other events we have coming up and what other recordings of other products we have available as well. And with that, we'll go ahead and jump into things. That just is a way of a brief introduction to AI Control Tower. We'll start there so that you have some good context and understand a little bit more about the solution. Then we'll actually jump in and take you through what is new for Zurich, what's new in the latest release, show you a quick demo, and then we'll wrap it up with some additional resources, like I said, where you can go to learn more about AICT as well as all the other products within the ServiceNow portfolio, including, but not limited to, the risk products, of course. For a little bit of context setting, hopefully this is not too much of an eye chart for you, or if it is, it's in a good way. Hopefully it's overwhelming that you can see just how far we've come with all of our risk products in the portfolio. And this is just a look over the last 6 family releases. So over the last 3 years, essentially, a family release happens biannually. And you're really able to see just how much value we continue to add into the products release after release. All of your favorites, all of the risk products you can see here. You can see when we started to add in new features and functionality, including for AICT. And you can see there in the column all the way on the right-hand side just how much we added for AI Control Tower. It's a huge area of investment for us. And of course, coming up next in Q1 of 2026 will be Australia with even more great stuff to come. So keep an eye out for what is next in the next couple of months. And just to contextualize for you what we mean by the risk product portfolio, it is the integrated risk management product, which you can see in the upper left-hand side there of the diagram. Integrated risk management, which includes audit compliance case, policy and compliance risk, CAM, and reg change. We also have business continuity management, which includes operational resilience, which so does IRM, and business continuity, of course. And then we have our standalone products, third-party risk management, ESG risk management, privacy, and what we are all gathered here today to talk about, which is the AI control tower. All of that sits on a very robust platform of common resources shared across all of those risk products, things like metrics, things like all of the great 360 views that you can access within each of these different products to see how different elements are related to each other, case management, issue management, continuous monitoring, all kinds of great functionality shared across all the products in our portfolio, all built on that bottom layer of the ServiceNow portfolio. So all kinds of great platform functionality that allows us to jumpstart, allows us to innovate very quickly, allows all of our products to work seamlessly together. So for today, we're going to really be focusing on that AI control tower piece in the upper right-hand corner. That is really the focus of today, but keep in mind if you want to go ahead and see what's new in all the other risk products, there are all kinds of resources that we'll cover at the end where you can go to find more. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Anoop, one of our inbound product managers, to walk us through an introduction to the AI control tower to get our feet wet and contextualize what we're going to see in terms of the what's new features right afterward. So with that, Anoop, over to you.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Brittany, for this wonderful presentation and kickstarting the program. Let me just start sharing the screen. Great. I hope everyone is able to see the desktop and we can get started. So as Brittany mentioned, within the ServiceNow Air Control Tower, this is one of the cool, exciting product innovation that has been launched within ServiceNow. And what we would like to get started is just to give you the faint of the journey on how this has been evolved. When you look at it, enterprises, be it at every industry vertical across the geography, you have various individuals, team members, business units, or functions who are really interested to build out AI capabilities. And why? The importance of setting up is, of course, to accelerate the business revenue, improve the customer experience, and of course, drive productive efficiencies. But that's is coming up at a rapid cost in a way that is essentially leading to a lot of uncertainties. And that's where these questions are being raised by multiple stakeholders from a governance standpoint. These could be, are those AI systems hallucinating results? What are the risks that can be mitigated so that you're complying with the latest AI governance mandates? Are you dealing with any privacy concerns? And these are various questions that gets raised by multiple members within the group. These could be a risk team, compliance team, legal team, and much more. So how do you struggle and overcome some of these questions? In a way, if you look at it, there is an emerging new role coming into picture wherein you want a centralized platform which will help you to connect the dots between across each of these stakeholders, be it your product teams, business users, and of course your governance stakeholders, communicating the same language for the platform. Essentially, you want to create a framework wherein you have everyone is aligned with your overall business strategy. What are those goals that needs to be aligned overall? What are the implementation procedures that everyone is monitoring from an AI asset is being created to the next stages of its deployment? From a measurement outcome is, of course, you want to measure, are those giving you the right outcomes? What is the overall business impact? And much more. From a governance standpoint, it's really crucial that all of these stakeholders that you see in the screen are being able to track the overall aspect of the AI asset that is being deployed. And that's where we are envisioning the new evolution of a ServiceNow AI controllable solution. The key objective is, of course, to ensure that you're managing your AI assets both ethically and responsibly at scale. Now, what that means is you want a centralized platform which will help you to unify all these experiences into a single common centralized workspace. And how do we structure this for you? We've taken a look into those five different pillars or the five foundational blocks that helps you to manage the AI across enterprise. The essential building block that has been highlighted over here is, of course, the AI inventory. Think of your house. This is where you structure your AI assets in general, be it your AI systems, your models, and your data sets. Think of what you want to run your machinery so that all of these aspects are covering in depth. Think of all those essential details that you want to ensure that your AI system is up to date. So all these inventory of AI systems that is being modeled for your business can be housed in one platform. It is also important to look at from a strategy side of things, which is, are these AI systems or the use cases that you're trying to build out for your enterprise, is it aligned with your corporate strategies and what those are and how you track them? Is it being aligned with your respective business goals on a periodic basis? Essentially, you want to ensure that it is improving your customer experience, driving productive efficiencies to success. The heart and core of the entire AI Control Tower solution is, of course, the governance program. Are those AI assets that is being deployed, is it complying with the latest AI regulations and, of course, your internal business policies? Essentially, you want to create a sense of trust and harmony for the business. And that's where the risk and compliance solution comes in to manage this entire set of activities within the AI Control Tower solution. Next, we focus on the AI value. Essentially, when you look at it, whatever is being considered for deployment or it is used for consideration, you need to measure its overall outcome. And whether it be it from financial to non-financial, and is it being generated on a timely manner, is some of those questions is something that would be really interested. These are various usage insights and adoption insights to measure whether those AI assets have been effectively used by the enterprise. Last but not the least, from an end-to-end lifecycle perspective, we give those flexibilities and frameworks in a way where the enterprises can manage your AI asset either in a semi-automated or a hybrid approach wherein your AI assets right from intake to deployment is effectively channelized and governed overall. With that being said, what is it that we have accomplished as part of the Zurich release? The first version was launched in May, and we are continuously adding multiple capabilities so that it addresses and tailors to various customer and market demand. Significantly within Zurich release, we made significant improvements on addressing the key focus areas, one around on the productivity side and of course from the efficiency, which we will cover in a few minutes on some of those slides. And of course, from the risk and compliance posture, we give you a lot of reporting insights, which will help you to better make informed decisions around what are the activities to be performed. To start with the first feature item that has been made available within the Air Control Tower solution is the inclusion of the strategic planning workspace. Think of this as your exclusive area wherein you can define your business goals and how it can be aligned with your strategic priorities. This is something that has been added as part of the Innovation Lab in May. Now this is now available as part of the Zurich release, which means you can have build out your goals, inventorize them, and ensure that it is closely linked with your AI inventories. And if there are certain projects that need to be executed, for example, each of your conceptual ideas, if it requires any project association, such as the financial demands that need to be closely monitored, that's where you can raise a demand and it has its own life cycle that can be managed. And of course, this is managed using the SPM Pro edition. But in those scenarios wherein you just want to manage your goals and the initiatives accordingly, it is pretty much available for all the users in AI Control Tower. What I will just give you a preview is on how you can actually organize. So as you can see, I've just impersonated as one of the workspace user called as an AS steward. And this is the first and foremost landing page where they get to see with a lot of rich reporting insights that has been collected from various data sources, be it from strategy, from an inventory, and much other areas, which will be covered shortly in a demo. Now, for the focus of this demo, we'll switch to the strategy side, where as you can see for the AS steward, these are the different set of goals and the strategic priorities that has been identified for the enterprise. And you go ahead and define them, and accordingly, you can measure the respective business outcomes. Are they closely aligned, and which are the failures that needs to be looked upon? And each of them has its own reporting and dashboarding insights that has been laid out, where you can drill down and go into the level of details that has been collected. Now, if you're more interested from a project perspective, like what are the associated risks, the decision-making activities that need to be looked upon, there are these additional reports that has been captured from a cost perspective, how many got allocated, how many were budgeted over a certain period of time, and these are various AI assets or the systems that has been governed till date. From a project perspective, of course, you would also be interested to see which are those work-related activities that has been successfully executed from a priority perspective, the ones which are overseen by various departments, and of course by product. Each of these are clickable drill down support in nature so that you can identify which are the hotspots that you need to look upon. Same thing applies with the AI project specific risk, issues, and the various actions that has been undertaken. This is a kind of a similar heat map view wherein you can actually slice and dice and identify which are those AI project related risks that need to be looked upon. And these are some of these add-on capabilities which are provisioned within the SPM Pro tool, which you will be really interested to monitor from a project standpoint. And these are some of the capabilities which enabled as part of the Zurich release, wherein you can actually track those strategy related items. Next, we focus on the risk and compliance. Essentially, what are the new features that has been added? Based on the feedback that we've collected, we have ensured a lot of reporting insights are real time and collective in nature. Essentially, we introduced a lot of new reports to give you better informed decision around what are those aggregated risks that need to be looked upon. For example, from an enterprise standpoint, you might have deal with various risks, be it from model risk, privacy risk, and much more. So, for an AI steward or an AI risk and compliance practitioner who is looking into that one lens, they would like to see overall from an enterprise-wide point of view, how many of them are rated as high, medium, and low, and what are the critical measures that need to be applied. Significant changes has been improved from a reporting perspective, so that's something that has been added, as you can see. Of course, with the drill down support, so that you get to see on those specific areas that needs urgent attention. We have also introduced an ability to keep yourselves up to date on the latest regulatory developments. What that means is you can also, using the regulatory change management product, you can embed it within the AI Control Tower solution to keep yourselves abreast on those latest AI regulatory developments. And in a moment, we can take you through on some of those key features as well. So for this, I'm just going to switch the view and impersonate as the risk and compliance practitioner. Think of it as an AI governance lead. And this is the workspace that you get to see all those rich reporting insights that has been laid out. As I mentioned, specifically on the risk aggregation, there are those specific reporting insights that has been laid out. And of course, the heat map that will give you a presentation on those A assets by different risk dimensions. Likewise, if you wish to keep yourselves up to date on the latest regulatory developments, here are some of those reporting insights that you can access. And of course, there are those AI capabilities that will help you to ensure that you are active and up to date on the latest developments. Well, if you're focusing specifically on one of the AI asset that I've actually looked upon, this is also an enriched view for the risk and compliance practitioner to get a sense where are those risk posture insights, how many of them are compliant and non-compliant, and of course the aggregated risk insight that is being collected. So these are all being collected based on your various impact assessments, risk assessments that has been collected. So during the entire end-to-end life cycle, this is where we kind of represented for the AI steward and as well as for the risk and compliance practitioners. Much more to watch out. I will hand it over to Mike, who will cover the remaining part of the topics.
This is Mike Malcanjo. I'm here to talk to you a little bit about some of the new features that we have in AI Control Tower, more from a kind of platform perspective. So the first thing we want to talk about is the new ability that we've introduced for your choice in AI model providers. So this is a big push that we've made in Zurich to allow you to actually choose which models you can use to power your agentic experiences as well as ServiceNow skills. So you're able to choose from four different model providers. That's ServiceNow, Azure OpenAI, Google Gemini, or AWS with Anthropic. And you can actually select those and choose how you mix them for the different agentic capabilities that you have. One of the really cool capabilities that we introduced in this most recent release was the ability to preview the impact of those changes. So you can actually see if those capabilities are supported with what you're trying to use that model for. Lots of good insights there. So it's an exciting feature. It gives you a lot more control over how things are working with ServiceNow and which models you're using. Next up, we've continued to build on the capabilities that we introduced at the very start of the product, the heart of the product, the AI Asset Inventory. And one of the capabilities that we've introduced is the ability to integrate with hyperscalers. So we've rolled out two connectors so far, AWS Bedrock and Azure Foundry. There will be more on the way. And we've also introduced the ability to, or some enhanced APIs for being able to pull in additional information and map those things into your AI asset inventory. Next up, we've also introduced all new security and privacy features into AI Control Tower. So this actually can give you insights into the security issues that the agents are maybe having. So they may have permissions issues, they maybe are not able to access what they need to, or it could be that they're dormant. You've rolled out an agentic capability and it's not really getting used. So it may be something that you want to spin down. So all of these are some nice capabilities that we've bundled into AI Control Tower to give you insight into exactly what's happening with those agents from a security and privacy perspective, and giving you the capabilities to do something about that as well. And then finally, we've also introduced the value and adoption capabilities to really show you what the value of the different AI use cases that you've rolled out are, as well as what the adoption of those looks like. The really interesting piece here is we've given you the ability to also define value templates so you can add your own metrics to track what's happening with these. And these will work for not just the Now Assist capabilities, but other information that you pull in from third parties into AI Control Tower. So as you add those different capabilities into the AI asset inventory, you can define different value and adoption metrics for those particular assets that you've pulled in. And with that, I'm going to hand it off to Pradeep to actually demo some of these capabilities.
Thanks, Mike. Hello, everyone. So we'll get into a demo. And in this demo, what we'll be looking at is a high level detail on the dashboard that are available for the cool features that have been discussed. And along with that, we will also look at where the data is coming from into these dashboards. So I'll just play this demo.
The demo for the AI Control Tower. We are going to be looking at three separate personas. Eileen, who is the AI steward who facilitates cross-functional collaboration between different teams. Mary, who is going to be the product owner responsible for building out the different AI experiences. And Josh, who is the risk and compliance manager. What you're seeing here right now is the bird's eye view that Eileen gets to see of the state of AI in the enterprise. She has access to the life cycle and the states of all the different AI systems. She gets access to view what are the different types of AI systems. So these could be agents or generative AI applications, or even your classic AI ML use cases, the risk posture of these different AI systems. We also are able to bring in different AI systems by providers. So bringing in and discovering AI that sits not only in the ServiceNow platform, but also AI that is in other systems and hyperscalers like AWS Bedrock, Azure Foundry. We are able to look at the different trends in terms of when systems were requested or deployed. What does the compliance posture look like against different regulations and standards like EU AI Act or the NIST risk management framework? What are the different cases? As well as the productivity and value that these AI systems are driving along with their usage and adoption, and some leaderboards around what are the most used systems. Eileen is also then able to drill deeper into specific aspects. So as she looks at the strategy, depending on the strategic initiatives that are set up in SPM, you are able to identify the different AI strategies, what are the goals and the targets that are set, and how does it align with and the progress towards these goals and targets. Next, moving on to the AI inventory. As part of the drill down, you can look at what are the different AI systems, models, prompts that are available. Again, a drill down into providers, the types of AI systems, where are they in the life cycle, as well as deployment by department. She is able to get to the specific value that these different AI systems are driving in terms of the productivity, as well as the ability to get into the full summary of all of the different AI systems, their productivity, the different models that they are using, where are they being sourced from. As we move into adoption, this is where Eileen can also look at the user adoption engagement across different systems. Where are they being used? Who's using it? And then also a distribution across the board. Further on, as we look into the specifics of risk and compliance, Eileen is able to look at what are the different classifications, regulations, how does it stand against compliance for the NIST Risk Management Framework, EU AI Act, overall compliance, as well as looking at an overview of what does the residual risk look like, what are your aggregated risk scores, and if there are any additional information around it. Next, as we move into the security and privacy capabilities, this is where specifically for ServiceNow AI and agents on the Now platform, Eileen is able to identify any access issues that might be present. How are agents running, whether they're autonomous or supervised? If there are any agents that are running with a higher or a privileged access, as well as any dormant AI systems. Specifically with the access map, Eileen can also take a look at what are the different access issues wherein a particular agent might be accessing tables or information that it might not be allowed to get to. And then with AI cases, Eileen is able to get a view into the current status of different cases, issues that might be raised, and any trends that they need to keep track of for different types of cases that would be available, that might be possible for an AI system or an application. Next up, Pramod is going to walk through the specifics of how we get this data into these dashboards.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Sampada. So we will switch to the other persona Sampada mentioned. It is product owner in this case. So here is the view for the product owner on the same control tower workspace. Product owner can see what assets they manage, what is the life cycle related to it, and the cases and the tasks that they are tracking while they're doing it. The other persona whom we discussed over here is the risk and compliance persona from a governance point of view. While there could be various governance team members, we're taking one example of risk and compliance persona and showing you how the view would be. Here is a view for a risk and compliance team where they get to see all of their specific reports, which we just covered in the overview. So these are the key reports that are highlighted in the control tower. In addition to that, there are specific operational reports to understand what kind of assessments are going on, what are the tasks and issues, policy exceptions. Also, overall heat map across various AI assets, how the risk is spotted across various heat map can be seen. In addition to that, as part of risk and compliance, there are specific libraries that are being shipped, which is like EU AI Act and NIST AI RMF related content that can be used in the context of overall risk and compliance governance. So what we will do is we will switch scenario towards how the overall life cycle would work in this case. So let's assume a product owner, if they have to submit an intake form related to an AI capability, either they can do it right from the specific AI control tower workspace itself, or they can also go to the employee center, which is like your intranet portal. And in this scenario, not just the product owner, any employee in the organization, they can submit such request, either it be for AI use cases, or it could be for various other aspects such as models, inquiries, cases, and all of that. But once such an AI use case gets submitted, it goes through its own life cycle for the review. And if we come here to see quickly how does that look after the submission, here is how an AI asset would look, where we get to see all the details that were submitted. And not just that, we also get to see what are the related assets that are mapped as part of the intake, where you can see the life cycle states of each and every models or the data sets that are being reused or have been submitted. What is the life cycle state for it? But if we get into the details of the life cycle, here is how there are various stages of the life cycle, be it your assess phase, build and test and deploy, where multiple governance teams can come in together to make sure their needed governance is reviewed from here and needed guidance is also provided. One of the key aspects, if I've taken as example, is the impact assessment from risk and compliance point of view. Here is one example where this is such an impact assessment related to privacy, non-discrimination, or all the fundamental rights aspects kind of tasks can be generated so that product owners can submit these kind of tasks to understand the risk and compliance posture. Once such kind of details are submitted, you get to see what are the risks associated with it, what are the control associated with it on the same product itself. Similarly, you can also define what is the overall value related to a given AI system. So in this case, once the AI gets deployed, you get to see what, based on the usage, what is the overall value that AI is providing. And these value also can be configured using various templates with specific value framework that we have provided with your own configured calculations, while there are out-of-the-box templates as well for value templates. So that's a quick view of the entire product and how overall AI Control Tower would help in managing your AI capabilities with regards to various AI assets, be it your AI systems, models, and data sets. With that, I will switch it over to Usman.
All right, so that's it for today's demo. In case you want to explore any of the feature or functionality that we discussed today, get in touch with your account executive. And with that, I will hand it over to Brittany to cover the resources available.
Perfect. Thanks, Pradeep. So in terms of resources, of course, we have a lot. So let me walk you through a few different options where you can learn more about AICT as well as any of the other products that ServiceNow offers. First, to answer one of the questions that we had earlier, where can I watch the replays of this and other similar sessions? We actually have an entire playlist available to you on YouTube where you can watch these replays. We included a link for it here. There's also a link to it Mary posted in the chat as well. So feel free to refer back to it. Please go ahead and turn on alerts as well. Subscribe to ServiceNow Community to get all of the latest and greatest. You can also find links to replays in Community as well, but probably the easiest way to see this publicly posted website or to see this publicly available session is going to be on YouTube sometime between 48 hours and maybe 5 business days from now. We'll have it finalized and polished and posted up there for it to be available. Like I said, feel free, scan the QR code now if you like, or use the link in chat to get there and go ahead and save that. In terms of other additional resources for AICT, we did release an incredibly robust implementation guide for AICT specifically. It's about 85 pages long, I believe, and all of that rich detail is available to you in Now Create. So for any of the technical questions that you have, of course, you can always refer to docs.servicenow.com, but we also have a lot of detail available for you in the implementation guide. So for those folks who are looking for that level of detail, who have that level of question, go ahead and check out Now Create, and you'll be able to find and download this guide from there. I already mentioned the other What's New sessions and where you can find those, as well as what is coming up next. So we hope that you join us for any subsequent sessions, office hours, etc., and also watch anything that you've missed on demand. So like I said, feel free, check out that YouTube channel. You can use the URL at the bottom of the slide as well if you want to register for any other upcoming live on ServiceNow events. Even after Zurich has already been wrapped up, we will continue to host this series for subsequent releases as well. In terms of customers and other folks who are part of the ServiceNow community, this is probably one of the best resources that we can send you to, which is the one central place for all things learning about ServiceNow GRC products. So all of the products within the risk portfolio, including AICT that we talked about today, you can find it here. This is going to include things like demo videos of the newest and latest features, any updates on releases, so decks, additional information, lists of new functionality, to give you some idea of where to get started or to help you as a thought jogger of where you might want to learn and invest your time next. We do also have the speed learning series, which I'll talk about in just a minute, linked from there as well. We also have things like domain guidance. So as we continue to roll out additional domain guidance, you'll find them there. And those are the business-oriented recommendations in terms of how we differentiate different levels of maturity within each of the domains that we support and cover from a risk perspective. So things like cyber risk or third-party risk or business continuity, right? If you want to see sort of how we structure what the business looks like and what the different maturities look like within those different domains that our products help to support, check out those domain guidance resources also available in community. You can also find training resources here as well, all kinds of enablement, links out to ServiceNow University as well, as well as any of the other chat forums. So if you want to keep in touch with each other, ask each other questions, we're in there too. So we see the questions that you ask, we see your comments, we see your feedback. Community is a really great resource and a great place to come and get together and share your thoughts and learn more about our products as well. In terms of some of those demos that I mentioned that are available, we do have a list here of what's up there if in case you're interested in learning more or seeing more. Like we covered today, we've got 6 major enhancements for AICT. We also have the demos of the latest and greatest in terms of the common core features, which includes entity-based access. So we have some additional functionality that's been released there that we have available for a demo. We have the IRM advanced risk for grid-based assessment responses. We have audit management, which includes the new workflow for simplified enhancement or evidence requests. So we cut it down from 3 steps to just 1 step to simplify the evidence collection. For BCM, we now support MS Word reporting as well as a threat assessment template. So if you're familiar with our MS Word plugin that we've been rolling out across the various risk products, it's now available within BCM, and you can check out that demo in community. For third-party risk management, we are live on Smart Assessment Engine. Big deal, long time coming. We're very excited about it thanks to the latest enhancements available in Smart Assessment Engine. We're finally able to migrate third-party risk over to SAE. Feel free to check out community for more on that. Speaking of Smart Assessment Engine, new functionality for this release also includes multi-user collaboration and scoring normalization, which was a big component that we added to be able to support third-party risk on Smart Assessment Engine. So you can see demos for those features. And we also have some new Now Assist looking for how AI is being embedded within the risk and ESG and other components and domains within the risk product portfolio. Check out those demos. Go ahead and see how we're rolling out Gen AI, Agentic AI across the risk portfolio of products. All of that is available to you in community. I mentioned that we have the speed learning series available. So there is some incredible content that our team has been putting together to help you to expand on your adoption, to really learn the nuts and bolts of the various different products in the portfolio. So these are in-depth learning series for third-party risk management, for Now Assist, for risk management, as well as for BCM. You can find links to those within the community as well, and they're also available on YouTube, on that same YouTube channel. So in that same ServiceNow community YouTube page, again, you should go and subscribe. There's a lot of good stuff there. So go ahead, you can scan this code or you can just check out the community to find links for all of that really in-depth, deep dive content. Here's a little bit more information on the domain guidance that I mentioned, as well as a list of the domains that we currently support or have guidance available published for: tech risk, operational risk, third-party risk, business continuity, and cyber, and more on the way. So our team is working hard to build out these different 5-pillar maturity models, as well as all of the detailed guidance behind it in terms of what are the business activities, what are the processes that those activities support, and how can you leverage individual ServiceNow functionality to support each one of those in order to help you plan out your maturity journey within each of the domains that we support from a ServiceNow risk perspective. So you can find more information about those, download that guidance, and a lot more within community as well. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. Thank you to our panel of experts who are helping us to answer all of your questions, to show you all of this great information, to make it publicly available so that you can consume it, see it, get the latest and greatest, and answer your questions here today. Really appreciate you guys and all of the great coverage. And so with that, we will close it out. Thank you so much, everyone, and we look forward to seeing you on the next Live on ServiceNow session.